Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, which means I picked out my book that I'm going to binge read this weekend, and I am very excited about it. You know, one day I will not say that in the intro of my video. Today is unfortunately not the day. I thought it would be fun with Halloween coming up to do a little spooky romance reading vlog. Everyone has been reading, I believe it's The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I don't even know what the title is. Everyone's been reading that and the X-Hex. I already read the X-Hex earlier in the month and I loved it, and I really liked the whole witchy, but it's really just a romance book, so I wanted to try this one out. I found this one, I think, on a TikTok, or I found it on Goodreads maybe, but it's on my Goodreads TBR and I haven't seen anyone talk about it. This is actually a part of my book haul that I was going to film tonight, but I'm actually pushing off to film tomorrow, so I'm kind of cheating and reading before I film this book haul that has this book in it. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah, I just got this book. It is a lot chunkier than I thought it would be. It is a good almost 500 pages. It has a playlist in the back of it. And literally it has She Calls Me Back by Noah Kahan, and that is one of my favorite songs. Willow by Taylor Swift, Seven Devils by Florence and the Machine, I Put a Spell on You by Annie Lennox, Sisters of the Moon by Fleetwood Mac, About You by the 1975, We Fell in Love in October, Girl in Red, Halloween, Phoebe Bridgers, Crystal, Stevie Nicks. So this is gonna be good. I don't really know what it's about. The back says, Gwendolyn Good lived a charmed life. As an owner of an occult shop in downtown Salem, Massachusetts, she's accustomed to all things odd and otherworldly. But when a bloody animal sacrifice is left as a warning outside her place of business, the police seems to think that Gwen might be the target of some truly evil doers. Suddenly, her sunny existence is riddled with danger in the form of crazed pagans, rogue employees, and nefarious henchmen. And there's only one man who can protect her until the storm passes. Graham Graves has no time for witchy nonsense. Not in his love life, and definitely not in his line of work. Hi, Bubbas. Despite the ever-present oddities of his hometown, the private investigator, acclaimed police consultant, prides himself on staying objective in every case that comes across his desk. That all changes when Gwendolyn, a woman who gets under his skin like no other, finds herself in the crosshairs of dangerous criminals. Graham is determined to make her safe, even if her presence tests his steely resolve. But as their mutual dislike sizzles into unexpected attraction, he becomes even more determined to make her something else. His. So I don't know if this is necessarily witchy or if it just takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, and that's like the witchy atmosphere. But I thought the, whole plot of it being in a witch shop and there's like this mystery going on was kind of fun. I'm gonna start this and I'm very excited. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I think we've met the love interest. And girl, what the fuck? I'm on page 41. As all of my reading vlogs, when there are specific books are, this is going to be spoilers. Also, sorry if you can hear my dryer. There's like kind of an age gap, but it's, at least, I don't know so far if they dated while they were younger. But she met him when she was 10 and he was like 16 as a lifeguard on the beach. And she's like recalling all these memories that she has of their first encounter meeting and being like, he was so beautiful. Girl, you were 10. And I know it's probably going to play out as like, oh, it was a cute little childhood crush, but I swear to God, if this is weird, I'm a DNF this book right now. Oh no, I'm scared. Hi everybody, it is currently Saturday morning and I'm about to leave to go sit at a coffee shop. I'm hoping to sit and just read for quite a bit today. I got to page 89 yesterday. I will say there is a big part of the plot with it being that she met him when she was 10. He was kind of her childhood crush. I did get to the scene that I found this book from. I found this book on a TikTok where this girl basically thought this guy was a carpenter because he he kept saying that he was a handyman, but he is actually like a private investigator. And it's this whole thing with, he was like, you thought I was a handyman for like the past 3 years. But yeah, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and sit and read. I've had a pretty productive morning. I filmed a video, I've been cleaning, I just took Stella for a walk. While I'm out, I actually have to go to Sephora and buy a new perfume, so I might take you along for that, and we might do a little Sephora haul when I get back. I am back from the coffee shop. I was there for probably like a solid hour reading. I didn't film anything because literally right when I got there, got my drink, sat down at a table, I was getting into the book. There was a group of like male cyclists that were probably on their bike ride, I don't know what you would even call it, and they all came in to the coffee shop, and it was very loud and it was very packed, so I didn't film, but I read like around 100 pages. I am at 186. I think I read exactly 100 pages. I don't know. This man, Graham, is... There was a who did this to you scene. I took a photo of it. I was giggly in the coffee shop. I was like giddy and so excited. And there was a scene, I had my highlighter, so I was highlighting scenes. I wish I had tabs, that way I could like just find the scenes. On page 162, where she's basically, she had just gotten like kidnapped pretty much, because the whole point is there is this group who is basically trying to get her. That's what the police think, is they're trying to kill her. And so this other group kidnapped her, a group of witches, basically to warn her because they knew her aunt. Graham is the one who ends up saving her, and that's where this like who did this to you scene came in. And I love this man with everything in me. But she was explaining to him what happened, and on page 162 they kiss. He kisses her and she was like, you just kissed me. And he said, seemed like the quickest way to shut you up. Shut the fuck up! He gives her some whiskey, I don't know, and then she's drinking it, like freaking out because they just kissed. And like, I don't think he understands that like he is her childhood crush. He goes, better. She nods. You calm? I nod again. You going to freak out? Shook my head. I'd hate to have to kiss you again. My eyes flashed over to him, brows furrowed in a glare. Oh, in your wildest dreams. His eyes were glittering with amusement and something else. Oh my god, there's so much sexual tension in this book. I had to go to Sephora and Target, but literally I am so excited. I'm gonna take Stella for a WALK, and then I'm gonna sit my ass down and read the rest of this book. But there's I'm like right on the scenes. This, you can see how much I was highlighting. I had to leave the coffee shop because I was like, oh my god, I'm so touch starved. It's not even a smut scene. Here's the thing, I don't like reading smut, but I will read tortured gazes at each other and like holding hands and stuff like that. That gets my heart racing. They're basically like flirting with each other. This is page 184. Hellfire. He was attractive when he was being playful. It was hard to hold onto my train of thought. I dug my teeth into my bottom lip, ground myself in reality. Unfortunately, this caught Graham's attention. His gaze dropped to my mouth and stayed there, fixated. Stop that, I muttered, fighting against the fierce flush that was threatening to turn my cheeks the same color as my hair. Stop what? Looking at my mouth. His eyes flickered back to mine. They were incredibly green. Why? I like your mouth. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Excuse me. Oh my god. I'm getting butterflies. I wish fictional men were real. It's a great mouth, babe. I like looking at it, especially when it's firing insults at me. I blinked, stunned, momentarily silent. Think I'd like to do other things to it too. I highlighted that and then I got my ass out of that coffee shop. Anyways, so I'm sure a smut scene is gonna come up, but he's so flirty. He's so good. I love this man with my whole life. So I'm really liking this so far. Update, if you want a little mini Sephora haul, why do I match my bag? I ran out of perfume. The only perfume that I have is one of my Dossier. It's like the dupe for the Le Labo Santal, whatever. And it smells good. If you've ever smelled it though, it's a very like woody, musky scent, and I do not like wearing that every day. That's kind of like my going out scent. So I got a refill of my everyday perfume, which is the Clean Reserve Skin scent. I've now gone through 3 bottles of this. I love this stuff so much. If you ever are at a Sephora, please smell it. It smells so good. I was trying to find like a warm vanilla-y scent because if there's ever anything I'm going to splurge on, it's gonna be perfume because I would rather smell good, and like high-end perfume lasts longer. It's the one thing with like switching over to a high-end anything that I've actually noticed makes a difference. But I couldn't find like a warm bakery scent that I really like. And then I also got the Laneige lip sleeping mask in the peppermint scent because I had bought at TJ Maxx like a travel pack, and it had a Laneige lip sleeping mask, a little travel size of it, and I've been using it. And I used to have the squeeze tube of this and I hated it. I did not think it actually did anything, but then ever since I started using the one that's in the pot, it actually does help my lips. And if you watch my videos, my lips are chapped all the time. I wear so much chapstick, I go through so much chapstick, I'm always reapplying it and it doesn't matter. My lips are always chapped. So I got this because it's been the only thing to help my lips. And those two things were literally like over $100. I love being a woman. Thank you for coming to my haul. I am gonna get her leash ready and then take her for a walk, and then come back in and read more about this man because I actually am in love with him. I know I say that about every book with a romance theme with a morally gray man. Graham isn't even morally gray. He's just like hot. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hello. I am a little over halfway through the book and we have gotten no closer to finding out like who this cult is that's trying to hurt her or anything about that. I will say the romance is so good. Graham is like yearning for her so much. There was a scene where he basically took her back to her house so that he could do a sweep of her house and make sure that no one was at the house there to hurt her, obviously. And after he had checked it all, he was talking about how like he was surprised that none of her house was decorated or anything like that. And he was talking about how he thinks she is scared to basically decorate because she's scared to settle down somewhere. She's scared to let people in. And then he kissed her again. I will say I'm getting kind of annoyed with, I wouldn't say annoyed, it's just he keeps kissing her to like prove a point and then shut her up or stuff like that. I think he's only done it twice now. This time he kissed her and she kind of got really upset with him because she still thinks that they hate each other. I will say their whole reason that they hate each other is they got set up on like a blind date because her best friend is actually dating his best friend. So they were gonna do a blind date. She overheard Graham talking shit basically about people who believe in witchy things and all of this stuff. And she was obviously very offended because she's not a believer of those things, but her aunt was, and she just took over her aunt's business. She took it to heart because obviously she really loved her aunt. So I don't really know why she hates him so much. Besides for that, he really hasn't done anything and it's so obvious that he wants to get to know her and wants to be close to her. So yeah, I'm really loving this book so far. I'm thinking this is like a 4.5, maybe even a 5-star read. I'm gonna get back into it. All of my reading vlogs are literally from this angle. I really never read in my room because I'm always out here to hang out with her. This man is so protective of her. Why am I so giggly over this? This man's got me blushing and kicking my feet up. I am absolutely eating this book up, like devouring it. And it's so good. Read this book. If you have not read this book yet, read it, please. Graham Graves and the Man That You Are. I have so many highlighted quotes in this book. I have so many like dog-eared pages of scenes that are just so good. I I can't put it to words. He just is yearning for her so hard. And I will admit, she's kind of, for some people, they might find her annoying with how kind of clueless she is about this. I think she's not as annoying to me just because I'm binging this book. However, if I was reading this slowly over a span of time, I could see how she might be annoying in that aspect. He is just so like protective of her in the best way. I'm on page 331. It looks like there are 488 pages. So I honestly think the next update I'm gonna have is once I'm done with this book. I'm so excited. I hope they get together. I stopped in the middle of a scene because I think they might get together now. Crossing my fingers, I'm hoping. I'm really enjoying this book. I'm very happy that I gave this a shot. I will admit, I don't even think that, because this video is gonna go up probably like right around Halloween, anything like that. I don't think that you need to read this necessarily in Halloween time. This book does take place around October, but except for it taking place in Salem and having to deal with slightly occult things, it's more so kind of like a mystery and a romance. And yeah, I would recommend reading this in the fall because I think I'm having an even better time reading it right now because like I can look outside and the leaves are changing. When I was at the coffee shop reading this, I was able to look out at the window and like it's just the best atmosphere for it. But because I am posting this video pretty close to Halloween, I feel like it's not giving you guys that much time if you do want to read this to read it before Halloween. I still think even after Halloween that this would be a great book to read. So yeah, I'm loving this. Please give it a chance. It is so good. Graham he's working his way up to be one of my new favorite book boyfriends. So I will get back to you when I am completed with my final opinions. I know I said I would see you when I was done with the book, but I do have to say I haven't talked about her at all, but the best friend in this story is just such a good best friend. Our main character, her name's Gwendolyn or Gwen. I don't know if I've said that at all so far, but Gwen will call her best friend. Flo is her name. She just called her and was like, I need you. Can you come over? Her boyfriend or husband, I guess I don't know if they are engaged. I haven't paid that close of attention to them. But she literally gets dropped off and she brings out the tequila. And then Gwen basically tells her something and she immediately is like, okay, another shot. Let's go. Boom. Tell me the story. What's going on? I love the power of female friendships. And that is just, I don't know, such an accurate depiction of it. I don't know, that made me really happy. Anyway, hi everybody. I finished Bad Luck Charm last night and I am here to report that this is a new 6-star read. I had the best time reading this book. It was so good. I absolutely love Graham Graves. He is just the perfect amount of obsessed with the girl that he is in love with, being overprotective and a little overbearing. He is a private investigator, so he's very much, I think I already said it earlier in the video, but there's literally a who hurt you scene in this book. It is the just right amount of a fall atmosphere. It does take place around Halloween. The like last couple chapters are very prominent around Halloween, but in all honesty, if you just want to feel like you're in fall, I would recommend to read this book throughout the year. I actually figured this out last night that this is a newer series. I believe the author released this one in August, and I think it's in the beginning of November or something the second book in the series comes out, because we get introduced to a character at the end of this book. I believe it's going to be another interconnected like standalone series, and I am so excited to read that book when that comes out. Please read this if you have not already. I loved this book so much and I was expecting to like it, but honestly I thought this would be like a 3.5, maybe a 4-star read. I wish that I like didn't binge this book so that I could still be in this world, because I loved it that much. It was so good. I don't know how the second book is going to top the first book, but usually the second book in the series is always better because you've already been in the world, you already love the characters, and yeah. I love this book so much. Please read this if you have not. Give it a chance. Bad Luck Charm by Julie Johnson. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this little reading vlog. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment if you've already read this book, if you're going to give it a shot. I'll see you when I see you next. Bye.